Okay, so welcome back to another quick video. Today, I want to talk about how do you actually change your life, right? Like how do you transform your reality? Like let's say right now you're living in a reality that you don't really like, like maybe you're not making the amount of money you want to make, maybe you're stuck living at home still, maybe you don't know what you're doing for work, relationship problems, different things like this. Like how do you actually change your life, right? Like how do you how do you really transform your reality? Like that's the topic of this video today. And the reason why I'm making this is because, like I look back a few years ago and I'll tell you the story of one of the like epiphanies that I had to change my life was when I was like, I don't know, maybe this was like 3, 4 years ago. I was working in like a factory, right? Like a milk factory, a company called Muller, which is like a German company who like produces all of the milk for like the UK and different countries, I guess, as well. And I was so freaking stressed because like I was into like self-development like for a long time, for like 4 years at this point, 3, 4 years. And I was like trying to change my life, like trying to build like online businesses, reading all the books, really into like Tony Robbins and like neuralistic programming and stuff like this, like take massive action, change your life. But like here I was, dropped out of the education system because I thought I could be like an online millionaire within like a few months or whatever. And I was really stressed because like I was working in a factory, right? Still living at home with my parents, not enough money, whatever. Um, and really, really stressed like with my life and like, why is nothing like working? Like I was trying everything in self-development. Like I was doing everything, really. I took every course, all the programs, all the seminars or whatever. And my life was still like this, right? And I was so stressed. And I remember one New Year's Eve, I think it was like 2021, like New Year's Eve, I was like, I have to try something different. Like something here is not working. And for some reason, once I made that decision in my mind, the next month, the 1st January in 2021, a lot of things started coming into my life. Like I had an encounter, like I met a shaman in England and did like a healing session with him. I learned about like pranic healing and was doing loads of like pranic healing with myself. Certain like meditations, reality shifting transformation meditations, right? Changing my internal and basically like learning about shadow work and trauma. And the craziest thing happened, like after all the years of like in self-development and trying to take massive action, within like a month of doing a specific meditation, I remember one specific meditation, within a month of doing that meditation, and when I did that meditation, I knew something clicked, like something changed inside, right? Like I healed something very deep within myself, and I knew, I said, something is about to change in my life because that internal shift will produce something externally. And within a few weeks, I got a message from a big YouTube guy who I went to live with for a while and still work with. And basically, I was living in America. Within a few weeks, went to Mexico first, and then living in America. And within like this was like within like a few months, right? And everything just started to transform. And then a few months later, I moved to Colombia and was working with plant medicines and got married, found my wife, and all like everything just rapidly transformed without me doing anything, right? Like obviously physical action is a part of transforming your reality, but like I made this shift like, oh wait, my internal world like really does create my external world. After the years of trying to take massive action and change my life, I made an internal shift and everything began to change externally, right? And from there, that was just the starting point. From there, I've had so many different things been unfolding these last few years and coming into my life, and now I'm very certain with myself that yeah, inside creates outside, right? So essentially, how do you do this for yourself, right? Like how can we replicate a change of life? Like let's say right now you wanna change your life, okay? Like how do you do that, right? And the first thing that we have to get clear on is like, what is your dream, right? Like what do you actually want? Because so many young people and people in general, right? Like adults, like old people, like they don't know what they want. They don't know what their dream is, right? Because again, we've grew up in like this system that has designed us to be slaves. And obviously a slave shouldn't like have a dream, because if a slave has a dream and wants to be independent and do what they want, they're not going to be a very good slave, right, in the system. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to unwire a lot of the beliefs and patterns of what we think that we want, because most people think that they just want money or just want a nice car or want a house or whatever, right? Attractive relationship. But like, what is authentic to you? What is your core dream? Because like, as a little kid, we're connected to that. But eventually that dies because we think, no, it's not possible. I can't do that, or the system or whatever. I have to get a job, I have to make money, and it's not realistic, right? So I'm telling you to scrap all of that and to begin to connect with your core desire, right? And that's a big process within itself. That takes a lot of healing work and a lot of experience and trying different things to actually discover what it is that we really want to do, right? Not just like a logical thing like, oh, I should do this with my life and this is the life path and whatever. No, like from your heart, what is your core desire? So that's the first place where most people get stuck, because they don't know actually what they want, or what they think they want is what someone else has told them that there should be their goal for life. Like, first we have to connect with our original desire. And obviously, you can watch like a video, the last video I made about like initiation, why that's so important with connecting our real purpose and how to really connect with that desire, right? Really, it's about healing ourselves. So once we're connected with our real desire, most people still get stuck because they think the only answer is to take action. Like, I'm just going to take massive action, I'm just going to make enough money, and I'm going to physically force reality and bend it with my will, right? My physical will, and take massive action in the world. And again, I tried that for years, and I think people can actually get results in that way, but it's a result that's forced by the mind, and the reality that you create ends up not being actually what you wanted. Like, you can force yourself, okay, like an external goal that the society has given to you. I want to be a millionaire, and you're going to force yourself, you're going to work years and years and follow the business plans, the structures, and eventually like you get there. But like, you're chasing a goal of the mind, you're not chasing the goal of the heart, and you're forcing your heart to take that action. So you're pushing down your core desire to get something that your mind thinks that you want. So it's your ego taking possession over your heart, right? And that's not really a healthy way to live your life. And obviously that brings out a lot of emotional problems later down in life that can manifest physically as well, like diseases, illnesses. And we've seen that in society many times with a lot of rich, famous people getting into drugs and whatever, and ruining their life, right? It's clear to see that. So basically, action alone isn't the answer, but I'm not telling you don't take action. Anyone who tells you that in like the law of attraction, spirituality space, it's absolutely bullshit. Like, action is a very important part. What I'm saying here, the real key is congruence, which is the three aspects, which is physical, which is action, right? But you've also got your emotions and your thoughts. You have to align your emotions, your thoughts, and your actions together. Most people, they just take action. And their emotions, they feel completely out of line with what they're doing, and they have negative thoughts that are holding them back as well. So really, we have to align your whole being, which is an identity transformation, right? Like, you attract what you are in life. Like right now, like let's say you have a dream, and your identity, which is made up of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, is completely out of line with that dream. Like, you're having negative thoughts, you're feeling insecure, alone, scared about your dream, and the actions that you're taking, you're procrastinating, maybe you're indulging in bad habits and stuff. Like, that person is not capable of living in your dream reality. So really, we have to shift your identity, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions to align with your dream, right? And the way that you do that, really, if you think about it, what determines your actions in your life, right? It's your thoughts and your emotions. So we have to deal with your thoughts and your emotions. Like, people try and change the physical action without dealing the thoughts and emotions. And the thoughts and emotions are very connected. They communicate with each other, right? In deciding what action that we're taking. And the real transformation comes because, again, people realize this and then they begin to try to force their thoughts. But what's creating these thoughts is the emotional patterns that we have, what we're feeling inside. That's the real major key to alchemy and transforming. So we have to deal with these thoughts, right? So you can say, what is my dream? And what is my current situation right now? Because your emotions and your thoughts and actions are creating your current reality, right? So we have to align that to the dream. So we have to realize, what is the kind of person, what identity do I need to live my dream, right? And once we begin to transform our identity. Yes, we continue taking physical action in the world, but life also becomes more magical. We begin to attract things into our life. Like if you watch the videos on like law of attraction that I made and manifesting and stuff like this, it's like your emotions literally attract energetically like the opportunities and things into your life that align with your dream, right? Or align with your nightmare, depending on what emotions that you're experiencing. So really, the core component here is we have to heal our emotions. These emotions of fear, of sadness, of depression, of not feeling good enough, of all these things, they are causing your thoughts and your actions in your life. So we have to deal with these emotions, right? The way to deal with emotions, the way to heal emotions first, we have to become aware of what emotions we really are. Most people play a very good game of putting a big mask into the world, of pretending to be happy and everything's good and showing, especially like on Instagram, on social media, on whatever, everything looks perfect, right? And we need to survive, so we look good for the tribe and we pretend everything's okay, we're strong and everything's good. But we live in a society that's full of emotional repression, right? So we're not even aware of the emotions that we're carrying. Most people can have a fake smile or pretend to be okay and go to their job and whatever. But deep down, because we're so disconnected from our emotions, there's a lot of deep trauma, stored emotional trauma inside of our body, right? And that needs to be released. That needs to be transformed and embraced in order to activate the higher emotions, right? Because most people can understand identity transformation and changing their reality, but then it's like, okay, I'm just going to think positive and look at the light and whatever. But the key, like the light is always there. But the key is we need to transform the darkness and the shadow to realize the light is always there. We don't have to try and think positive or try and feel happy. That's natural. We have to deal with what's unnatural, these unprocessed emotions, right? And these emotions, they come from our ancestry, our lineage, how we grew up, the traumas we experience with our parents, with society, going to the school system, all of these things, right? Past lives and energetically what's happening in the world. We're all carrying these deep pains and these deep emotions that we need to heal, right? So the first step is becoming aware of that, right? Like beginning with simple processes of like body awareness, connecting with your body, go out to nature barefoot, feel the ground, feel the earth, right? Your body is born of the earth. To begin like a simple meditation practice to become aware of your thoughts, aware of your emotions, what you're feeling. This is the base level, just being aware. But once you're aware, then you can begin to accept these emotions, allow to integrate, and maybe you need like professional help. A lot, I know I have over these years, and I still get professionals help to heal a lot of these emotions when it comes to things like, you know, using plant medicines, which is an amazing tool. Things like Gene Keys, which I've made other videos on and will continue to make videos on all of these different tools and different ways of healing your emotion. There's so much information out there. But first we need to become aware of, okay, how does trauma work? How is trauma stored in the body, and how can I begin to accept and to release this emotional trauma so that then I can get a genuine result in my life? Like, I think a lot of people in the healing world, they get stuck in just the healing world. But for me, it's always been about like, how do I change my life, right? And that's how I got into this world. It's not just I'm just studying random things. It's like, because it's actually practical. It gets results. When you start to heal this emotional trauma, you align your emotions, you align your thoughts, you align your actions, and your life changes, right? Your life changes because your identity changes. We're no longer stuck in the survival mindset. We're no longer stuck in the survival identity because the way that the ego's formed is based on survival. We have emotional trauma, and then the ego is formed, right? Because it's a survival mechanism. So we're gently healing that survival mechanism to return to who you really are. And from that true essence of yourself, you naturally begin to attract, and not really attract, like to recognize and to become aware of the true reality that you're living in, your dream. You are one with your dream. Your dream is a manifestation of your true essence, right? So the healing process is how we begin to attract and manifest our reality, right? And that's really how you change your life, right? It's not just about getting a new business plan or whatever, you know, or a new guide or a new mentor or a new coach or whatever. Like really the only way to change your life is yourself, is healing yourself, right? And I wish I heard that message earlier. I'm glad that I ended up finding all of this information, but like this video is really made for me a few years ago, who was there stuck trying to take massive action, self-development, all these things, to realize that the change comes when you change yourself, right? The sustainable long-term changes when you heal yourself. So that was a short video of how to change your life. I hope you implement some of this knowledge and go deeper, because yeah, this is really how you get results, and I'd be excited to hear some of the results from this information. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.